All about Apple now in our 360 round. Our panel is ready. Daniel Rubino, editor-in-chief at Windows Central. Lisa Martin, research analyst at the Futurum Group. Thank you both for being with us. Now, the delay of Apple Intelligence was frustrating to folks, but now the update for these features, we'll be able to see them next week. Daniel, how big of a deal is this? Is it going to be a monumental moment?
It's going to be good. If you have the new hardware or an i15 Pro, yeah, you're going to get a nice update here with what I would say is the start of Apple Intelligence, or AI for your iPhone. A lot of this is a catch up to where Google and Samsung already are. But, let's be clear, Apple controls a lot of the market share for smartphones in the United States, meaning a lot of people will get access to this, at least long term. This also goes for laptops and new iPads as well. Anything that's running Apple Silicon, basically, except for older iPhones. But yeah, you're going to get some really cool features here that help you streamline your life, make things a little bit easier. It's going to be good. I don't know if it's going to be revolutionary, but I think this is better than the augmented reality trend that happened a couple of years ago, which was, I think, a lot more gimmicky. This actually does solve some problems for people, which is basically we have information overload in our lives. A lot of this is going to be about summarization, making things easier for people to comprehend.
Yeah, the notification summaries that we'll be getting on our messages, on your emails and such. Lisa, what say you? First of all, what were your thoughts on the delay? And now it's finally here. Some of your thoughts, Lisa.
Yeah, Nicole, great to see you. Happy Friday. Agree with a lot of what Daniel said. Initially what we saw was lackluster sales last month because pretty much everything that we've been waiting for from an Apple Intelligence perspective was coming soon. But as you said, Nicole, that coming soon, iOS 18.1 is a few days away. While Apple has been late to the generative AI game, they've not shied away from acknowledging that. We still see three competitive advantages that they have. And those are, one, they're tapping into existing apps and features. So Apple Intelligence is going to be baked into existing apps and features like Siri, for example. Features and apps that millions and millions of people use every day habitually, and habits are hard to break. So what we see there is something unique, and it gives them an advantage. They're also with iOS 18.2, which is now in beta as of 2 days ago to developers exclusively. What we're going to see is more advantage where they're integrating AI competitive technologies into Apple Intelligence. For example, 18.2 will have ChatGPT baked into Siri. It will also have visual intelligence will have ChatGPT, as well as Google image search. And what Apple has done here is it's getting the best of both worlds from Google and OpenAI, but it isn't being reciprocal. So it's keeping its IP in that sense. And the third advantage we see is this protecting privacy. Apple Intelligence has privacy tenets that we haven't seen from competition, even though they have been behind there. Its go-to for processing AI tasks is going to be on device, but they also launched private cloud compute, PCC, which will allow the phone to make a decision on where to process the AI task while maintaining the privacy on device and in the private cloud.
Daniel Rubino, thank you, Lisa, for that. Are they gobbling up for the 16? Everybody wants it, or they bought it already? How does the holidays fit in? How does the SE model fit in, which is a cheaper model, which KeyBank says could cannibalize Apple's plans for 16 and 17 sales? I don't mean years.
Yeah, I'm not sure this will drive a huge boost in sales. A lot of that will be determined by, social media, your friends and what they're saying about it, and that kind of word of mouth experience, whether this is really transformative or not. There's already been some viral moments this week. One of them was really funny where someone's girlfriend broke up with them via text message, and then the iPhone summarized the message into this very robotic, dystopian type wording. So that got around. It wasn't the best framing for Apple Intelligence, but I think some people will buy this and go into the holiday seasons. I'm sure we'll see some discounts and sales as well, but I don't see a huge boost for iPhone sales going forward, because I think the market is still kind of flat. The hardware on the device itself compared to last year's model is not that massive of an upgrade. But in the coming years, Lisa mentioned 18.2 coming out is going to have a lot more features on board. And this is a process for Apple. So as the AI story builds out, and Apple takes its time, they say we're not the first, but we're the best. And there's some truth to that. I think it's going to help them long term, especially because of the ecosystem. If you have an iPhone, you likely have a MacBook or an iPad. All these things are going to work together with Apple Intelligence at some point. And it's going to be a really fascinating point that they can leverage that Samsung is trying to do. But Apple really has an advantage here.
Yeah, understood. Do you think that once people see the features a little more, get through the earnings on Halloween, Lisa, there will be a surge in demand for Apple 16 phones and maybe more products? We do have the M4 chip next week. I saw that in Daniel's notes, but it may have been in yours as well. But the point is, do you see a surge in demand after the earnings next week and maybe into the holidays?
I don't know if I would say surge. I agree with everything Daniel said. I think we will see an increase in demand. I think it will be slow. I think what we're going to be getting our hands on finally with 18.1 next week is some of those cool tools with the notifications you talked about, the writing tools. If you are a heavy user of Apple Photos, there's some great incentives to upgrade there with some of the things that you're going to be able to do. Search is going to be dramatically better. And I think we'll see an uptick going into the holidays. But I think as users get their hands on it, and I encourage anyone to go online, search for a demo of Apple Intelligence. It's pretty cool, some of the things that are coming, but I think we're going to see things over time. I'm very curious to see what the Q4 FY24 news is that comes out on Halloween, as you said, Nicole. And I think it's definitely one to watch as we see Apple is once again the darling of the world with just nudging out NVIDIA for the world's largest company.
Yeah. And look, the NASDAQ 100, its 7th winning week. Next week, a huge tech week. Stay tuned. Daniel Rubino, Windows Central, Lisa Martin, the Futurum Group. Thank you both for being here.